So, you decided to go to Monaco to pursue higher education. But the real question that needs to be asked, is it actually worth it? But first, let's start with the introduction. Hi, my name is Sydney. First of all, welcome to my world. Second of all, I actually just recently graduated from the University of Monaco with my master's in luxury management. And now that I have my degree and I do know everything, let's get started. So where did I hear about this college? Honestly, I just found it online. I'd already gotten my undergrad at like a liberal arts college in the United States. And I was just like, you know what? I want to be in fashion, more specifically the luxury sector. You know, a school that teaches luxury and has a program. And I was just like, oh, Monaco, that's fantastic because we're in the epicenter of luxury. Duh. What was I expecting from the school? You know, I'm in the epicenter of luxury. One, I was thinking it's going to be safe. Last time I studied abroad, I was in South Korea, and I felt extremely safe because guess what? I was the scariest thing walking. And the classes are all in English and everything. You know, I've been in a completely different environment. Okay, cool. This should be fine. Also, the Monaco Grand Prix is there, so you know, it's about to be banging, you know. Famous last words. But before I shatter y'all hearts, let's talk about the good stuff. The great thing about this school is, one, the cool experiences. Like I said, you're in Monaco. Something is happening every which way you turn in Monaco. While I was there, I was able to go to the E-Prix. I was able to go to the Historical Grand Prix. I was able to go to the Monaco Grand Prix. Okay. I was able to see Low Baby, Central C. I went to a Lacoste opening. There's just a lot going on. For example, also one of our professors, my diamonds professor, he had his store there, and literally our field trip was literally to go to his store and try on diamonds and rings and stuff like that. Then also another one of our classes, we went to all the luxury stores and just talked about the visual merchandising. Me, as a woman, I felt extremely safe. Granted, I should be very safe because you got people walking around with Birkins, so it should be safe. But at least I remember after the Grand Prix, when I was walking at 4 in the morning by myself, I did feel extremely safe. So location is great for also just even traveling on the south of France and everything. The train that connects, you can go anywhere and everywhere. I feel like I loved it, especially coming from the United States where literally all we have is just freaking cars and crap transportation, public transportation. I was in heaven. Also, I love a good train. The bus system runs on time. The weather is very good weather. I think the coldest it got, I'm going to use Fahrenheit. I am American. 50, 40 degrees. The coldest. And that was when I got there in January. Maybe 40 degrees, but high 40s. It doesn't snow. It could be windy. That's pretty much it. And then October, it rains a lot. Other than that, you're good to go. When it comes to connections, you can make a lot of connections at this school. Granted, a lot of people are also trying to make connections, so it's pretty easy to go. They have great group chats and everything like that. Everybody is active in the group chat. Also, I guess you could say this to experience this too. The kids are always throwing a goddamn party. The kids is always throwing a party. I feel like there was a party going on. Hey, we're going to this club. Everybody, here's your tickets and everything. If you want to buy a table, when you go to school over there, you're going to get real familiar with Jimmy's. Or honestly, I think there's another place, but yeah, you're going to get real familiar. I don't know. It just adds to only in Monaco you're going to see that. Another thing you're only going to see, be walking down the street, all of a sudden, there goes Max Verstappen. The main point is that you're in such close proximity to so many people of power and everything like that. You have a lot of people who have a lot of hustle and drive and everything, and it also it kind of inspires you to be oh, I want that same hustle, I want that same drive. It really is a good place to make connections. However, there is quite a bit about the school that I wasn't I don't know how you could say particularly fond of. I don't know, where should I start? Well, we could probably start about the actual schooling itself. Now, granted, I did not do a full year of my master's degree because I already had a business degree. Well, at least for my degree, which was luxury management. So the full year started in September of 2023. But since I had a undergrad degree in business, if you have any business, background, you can join halfway through the year. That was very interesting. The way that the classes are scheduled, they're not scheduled for economics, you have it on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, all at from 10 to 12. And it's like that the entire semester. That is not the case at all. I'm from the United States, so that's how classes have been structured, okay? In this school, for some other reason, you would have a class, you would have economics, let's say, and economics could either be only 3 sessions long, or it could be 6 sessions long, or it could be 13 sessions long. And when I mean by sessions, I mean like individual class sessions. And guess what? They're not in a, organized schedule. They are, they're randomly thrown in there. You want to know why? Because most of the teachers don't live in Monaco. No. They are, hopping around, globetrotting. We have teachers who literally fly down for a week just to teach the entire course in a week. And also all the classes are in like 2-hour blocks and everything. Let's say the class was literally like 3 sessions long and everything. You could literally take the entire course in a day. Or maybe 2. Well, actually, let me set the scene. For example, economics, you would have majority, like 6 class sessions in maybe 2 weeks. The teacher goes back to wherever they originally live because they, like I said before, they don't live in Monaco. And, you don't see them until you have to present a project closer to the end of the semester. And you have to remember all the stuff you learned at the beginning of the semester, which was, I don't know how many months ago. And why am I saying it like this? Is because it actually did happen to me and my major. And then the teacher got mad at us because we didn't remember everything. I will also say the school, like literally, it's only 2 levels. Actually, no. How many levels? Technically 3 levels. But actually, the first level is literally just the very tiny cafeteria, and there's only one woman working in that cafeteria, and I'm just like, bless her heart, because she really doing everything. And then you got the second floor, and you got that tiny little library and everything like that. You have 1 classroom down on the second floor, and then maybe a couple of study rooms. They're not even rooms, okay? They're cubbies. There's that. And then on the second floor, which is actually where all the classes are, you just got classes on classes. It like goes down, and then it goes into you go straight down and then you go into an L. I know the school, if you look at the actual picture of the school, which is like, right here, I know it looks like a lot, doesn't it? It only stops at those 3. You know what else is up there? Not the dormitories, because also there's no dorms. You got to find your own housing. I think maybe there's a couple of dorms, but I don't know how the hell you get those dorms. I know some people just like, well, dog, it's Monaco. Like, Monaco is like one of the tiniest places ever. Hey, guess what? I was expecting a proper school. Now, I'm used to being in small schools all my life. This, however, I think now they have just reached a little bit over 1,000 kids. And guess what? They do not have enough space for all the kids there. Literally, for the finals, luxury management, that's a very big degree. And even so, we are separated into hospitality, brand management, and fashion accessories. We're a pretty small group. I think the smallest. Then hospitality is second, and then brand management. Everybody and their mama is just there. We had to take finals, and literally everybody was cramped into, first of all, the walls, they break down and everything. You couldn't fit all of the people who were in that freaking degree into the same classroom. And they broke down the wall. So it's at this point, it's 3 classrooms combined. You couldn't fit all the kids that are in there. Kids were coming in and they were just like, oh, we have no room. I guess we got to put you in somewhere else. I don't know. When it comes to academics, it does feel like a lot of just busy work. I'll be honest. For someone who is neurodivergent, it was not the best experience for me, I will say. For me, I personally thrive on structure. A lot of the way that the school is situated, it's not a lot of structure. And the thing is, what really pissed me off is that everybody would just chalk it up to, oh, well, that's just how IUM works. What the hell does that even mean? Don't tell me that. Don't play in my face. That's not a good answer. There's ways to be structured and everything like that. This is not one of them. Also, when it comes to administration, it's also very slow too. I know I'm trying. Let me try not. Well, actually, no. I got my degree. They have over 1,000 kids, a little bit more than 1,100 kids. For the financial office, that is only one person doing all the financials for the entire school. One person, okay? And also the way that you submit your payments and everything, it's you bought something off of a clothing store online. Okay, it's I'm just okay, let me just swipe my card and then, bless his heart. And I'm not dogging on him because the guy who's runs a financial office, he doesn't have the strongest English skills, and I'm not dogging on him for that. It's just very hard. A lot of people would be it's hard to communicate with him because his English is not the best and everything. And especially when you're dealing with money, you need to communicate clearly and everything. And there will be times where, for example, Tom, you didn't pay something on time. Meanwhile, they paid just they paid on time. He would send like those type of emails just to get your attention, and it would be something very minuscule. Another department as well, when it comes to like, I don't know, student services and stuff like that, that is literally one person. So imagine having to help all these international students who need help trying to get like, you know, visas and everything like that. That's only one person. And also trying to like contact them. It's hard contacting them. I feel like there's no WhatsApp. I can't call you and everything. I'm trying to email them. I gotta be up at the booty crack of dawn because they're like 6 hours ahead of me. On top of that, some of the kids, like I said, it's a very close knit community. Since it can be a close knit community, it can also be a very harsh community as well. You know why they talked about Monaco and Gossip Girl? Because it is Gossip Girl at that school, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The way that some of those kids, like, it was diabolical what these people was doing, okay? When I look back on it now, I was sad that I couldn't really get close to some of these people. But now that I think about it, for my mental health, I am quite glad, okay? The amount of stuff I would hear out of these people's mouths, insane. The amount of stuff that like they do, crazy. Let's think about the main question at hand. Is it worth it to go to the University of Monaco? It's a yes and a no. Honestly, it is a really cool place to explore. It's a safe community. There's so many things, not even just, you know, just being in the school. There's great places to eat. You can go up to the Rock. You can see a royal family every single day if you wanted to. You can see their house. You just have to walk up a bunch of steps. Actually, not even steps. You have to walk up a mountain, dude. Also, you don't even have to stay in Monaco. You can even go to Italy, okay, one day, or you can go to France. On the flip side, though, the actual school itself, it is very chaotic. The people are at each other's throats. If you were someone who is neurodivergent, I would say this is going to put you into a tizzy. The work is doable, but you really need to be diligent on your time management because, like I said before, you only know your schedule, like your school schedule, 4 weeks out. I'm so dead ass. And I was just like, that's insane. How come I don't know my schedule for the rest of the year? And a lot of the kids, like if they wanted to get a job on the side, they couldn't because they don't even know their schedule in 4 weeks. It's really hard if you need to do like, you know, an extra income and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that go on with Monaco. The school also kind of like similar to Monaco itself. It is very smoke and mirrors and very, very, very good in PR. Okay. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes, but the marketing is fantastic. I guess with everything, you just need to be wary and take it with a grain of salt. Also, I did go on Reddit and look up, hey, what are the reviews for the school? Someone did tell me it's like when it comes to networking, it is like, you know, the school is only for the rich and blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, they only care about partying. They were right about most of it. But did my dumbass listen? No. But it doesn't matter because I have a degree and that's it. Do I have a job? But ultimately, if you want to go for the connections and everything, for just a fun experience, if you have, you know, the money to spend and everything, then absolutely, I would 110% recommend the University of Monaco. If you want to go for like, you know, a rigorous academic and want to like study and dive into that and that's your thing, absolutely do not go to the school, 110%. If you are neurodivergent, you can survive. Will your nervous system be broken? Yes. I guess my final verdict, would I do it again? Knowing what I know now, I might do it again. I know I just said all that stuff about my nervous system being broken. Yeah, fair enough. I will say some of that is on my part because when I went there to the school, I wasn't as prepared as I could have been. So that is 110% on me. But knowing what I know now, I would go again. If I was prepared and everything like that, 110%. Yeah, I had fun while I was there. Guys. I had fun, okay? I had some fun times. But I also had a lot of shitty experiences. Unfortunately, it was like a toxic relationship. The highs was high. But them lows was real low. But that's what I think on the University of Monaco. Now, honestly, the big question you need to answer yourself is it worth it for you? If you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to subscribe. Also, comment stuff down below what you want to see. I don't only make videos about Monaco. I do make videos about my life and where I am now. So I hope you're having a good day. I hope I see you more in Sydney World and everything. Make sure you're subscribed so I can see you more in Sydney World. And yeah, au reservoir.